Whoopi, you in danger, girl. Let's take mental health serious now. The black tea is hot. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up, everyone? The black tea is hot. Welcome back to my podcast. This is Sky Bobby giving you the black tea. Whoopi, Whoopi, Whoopi. Y'all know I'm a big, huge fan of Whoopi Goldberg, so this story is very close to me. And you know, I watch The View, just the hot topics. I don't watch the whole show. I can barely take the hot topics with the controversy, especially when Megan was on there, and it's been kind of calm these days. But I'm going for the ratings. I'm thinking this is all about getting the views ratings back up. Hasn't been the same since Megan's been gone. Let's face it, let's give Megan props where it is due. You needed a conservative person on The View to make sure we get a little drama. We haven't had drama. Everybody was agreeing about everything on the show. But not last Friday. If you haven't been listening to the news, Whoopi Goldberg has been accused of anti Semitism because she said that the Holocaust wasn't racist. And I can tell by her body language she knew what she said, but it slipped. But then she couldn't back it up because she doubled down and said what she said when people tried to correct her, even on the show. Sarah was trying to correct her, and Sunny Hostin was trying to correct her. But Whoopi was sticking with, I said what I said. And then on Colbert, she tried to apologize, i.e., ABC and Disney was like, girl, everybody's talking about you. You are trending on the internet. They're saying that you are racist, that you are anti Semitic. And even though her last name is Goldberg, you guys know that is her stage name. She's got that. She's been an ally for the Jewish community for years. So, in my opinion, I don't think she's a racist and she's not anti Semitic. But people think she is. I think people are more upset because of the double standard. Here's Whoopi getting a pass again. But so is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan been speaking his ass off on Spotify, and he's still on. We're also hearing that it's racism, that they're picking on the black woman. I don't think that is at all. I just think people are tired of Whoopi getting a pass when she backed up people like Bill Cosby, when she speaks her mind. But that is what the show is about. So I don't get the part where they feel that she can't say what she wants to say because that's what they hired her for. But it got out of hand as trending, and finally the ABC and Disney, which is the parent company of The View, suspended Whoopi for 2 weeks. So Whoopi's like, okay, let me get that out of my purse. I mean, the money part is not going to hurt Whoopi, but behind the scenes, the streets are talking that she is furious, and so is her cohort. Sunny Hostin is very furious about it, and Joy is definitely furious about it. You know that her husband is Jewish. They think Joy is Jewish, but she's actually Irish. Um, it's just a messy situation, and I'm feeling bad for Whoopi for the fact that her career might be over. She's one of the well-respected Hollywood actress and director. She was just getting ready to do the casting of Sister Act 3. She was producing that and looking for people to star in the role. But sponsors are pulling out of Whoopi and they're pulling out of The View, and I think that's why the streets are talking because it's money involved now. You guys know that most of the major networks are run by the Jewish community. Everybody has the Goldberg name in the television world, and she had a bad spot. Should she be fired? No. Should she be reprimanded? She already is. But she's in talks of quitting. I think Whoopi wanted to quit a long time ago, and this might be her exit plan. I always thought that Whoopi should get off that chair a long time ago and get back into the movies where she belongs. I love Sister Act. I love Jumping Jack Flash. You guys remember Jumping Jack Flash? That was the first instant message, right? And that was in the 80s. But I want to move on another topic that's dear to my heart. I mean, the Whoopi is a big thing, but mental illness and depression. You guys know this recently, this poor little sweetheart, 30 years old, former Miss USA, jumped off her apartment building and committed suicide, allegedly. And she had everything going for her. She was a correspondent on E! She was a lawyer, and she was Miss USA 2019. And I remember her winning that and watching that show, or even watching her 2 weeks ago host Miss Universe pageant with Carson Creasley, and she like nailed it. Beautiful girl, black girl. But the year was 2019, and Miss Teen USA, Miss USA, and Miss America, and first runner up was black. Yes, all the beauty queens in the same year had never happened that were all black queens. But it goes to say, you just never know what's going on in people's lives. You just never know. But especially in the African American community, depression is huge, y'all. A lot of our black celebrities are depressed. Taraji P. Henson's talked about it. Gabrielle Union has talked about it and talked about committing suicide. But there's a stigma about getting help when it comes to mental health, especially getting professional help like a psychiatrist that talk yourself through some things. Um, I myself, full disclosure, had a mild clinical depression, kind of the one that Michelle Obama talked about that she had. And when you have a mild case, you don't want people to know, so you have this second life. You have this life that everything is okay in your life. And we all know things happen in your life that can mentally unstable you. Some people are just born with mental illness, but we just don't take it serious because we do a great job of hiding our illness. It is an illness. Mental health is a illness. It's one of those secret ones, and I think it's hidden under the rug where people don't talk about it, so they don't think that it is an illness, but it's killing our people left and right. When I first heard the story, I was thinking like, nah, she didn't commit suicide. She had everything going for her. I think somebody like her boyfriend or somebody pushed her off the ledge. But it's true. Her mother talked about it. She left a couple messages and on her Twitter account, and she committed suicide. I still got to say allegedly. I don't want to get sued. Don't come after me. But it's serious, and we need to have a deep conversation about mental illness, especially in the African American community. All right, let's get more on a fun, exciting topic like Riri. You know who Riri is, right? Rihanna. She is pregnant with Aesop's baby. Rihanna, I wanted an album, not a baby, but okay. I think her singing career is over. I don't think she's going to produce an album. She doesn't need to. She makes $1 billion, and she does it with her makeup and clothing line. And we just want 1, 2, 3 songs, Rihanna. You know you can give that to us. And speaking of 1, 2, 3 songs, did you guys hear or watch the Janet Jackson two-part docu series? Did you learn anything that you didn't know already? Not really. I think Janet was in full disclosure about her private life. She said she's going to let you know everything from her and not from anybody else. And y'all know that we want to hear about the Super Bowl incident. Was that staged? Was it an accident? Are you going to explain that, Janet? Are you going to explain that you have a daughter, allegedly? Or was that a rumor? Are you going to talk about all of your husbands or just a few? So, part one in Janet Jackson's docuseries, she talked about, early life, how her father was taking control of her life. She wanted to go to school and college and everything else. And her father was like, no, you will sing. Because at the time, the Jackson Five had fired their father from being their manager. And all Joe Jackson had was Janet. So he put all of his energy into Janet. And she started off being an actress. She was Penny on Good Times. She was on Different Strokes. And then she came out with this album. I don't even know the name of her first album. That's how bad it was. But Janet knew she needed to get away from her father, and she hired Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam from the time. And she came out with the album Control. That gave me life. I was in high school. Here comes this album. We're all in that adolescent years that we all want to control, but she came out with Control, and she talked about that, and then she moved on to marrying one of the DeBarges, and was a secret wedding. Even Rebe and her family, her sisters, nobody knew about the wedding. She eloped. But there was allegedly a child that was birthed and allegedly was given it to Rebe to raise. Janet was too young to have a child. I think she was 17 when she got married. But on the docuseries, Rebe Jackson, which is Janet's older sister, was on the show and was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I never raised Janet's child. But Janet never said I had or did not have a child. So to me, that wasn't coming forward, Janet. You just had your sister go on and say that she didn't raise Janet's child. But did you have a child, Janet? I didn't see anywhere. Maybe I missed something. If I missed something, please leave a comment down below because I did not hear anything about Janet not having a daughter. Then she talked about her marriages. Renee was one of her big marriages where she did a lot of music with him. He tried to take her to court and get all of her money, saying that he produced most of her Design of a Decade album and all of her number one hits. And Janet was like, no, that was my money. That was my talent. You think this song is about you with Missy Elliott? That was about Renee. Then she jumped to the Super Bowl and she was saying that she told Justin that she didn't want him to apologize and that she never stated that if it was staged or not. She just said things happened and people took it out of control. She lost a lot of money and sponsors during that time. And we want to know if you did it or not. Was it staged? Did Justin rip it off? Was it a malfunction, Janet? She really didn't get into it. Then she moved on to her last marriage. Well, no, she did move on to her last marriage. She finally had a son. She had a child. And that she's so happy to have her child. And I'm like, well, who's the baby daddy? Which we all know was the Muslim guy who made Janet Muslim for a brief minute. Y'all remember at that concert when Janet came back after her child and she was wearing covered up Janet and her burqa and everything else and one costume change throughout her whole concert. I'm like, this is not the Janet I know. But anyway, she didn't say a peep about that marriage. She just went on about how she loves her son and everything else. That's okay. Maybe it was something none of our business. But you said you were going to be truthful, Janet, and I think you extended the truth a little bit. But that's still my girl. I still think Janet is the originator when it comes to filling up stadiums. I think Beyonce, Rihanna, and all them girls were taking notes when Janet was Control and Rhythm Nation and all the dancers on the stage. That was Janet. So, Janet, I think we need part 3 to get the truth out. So, did you guys hear that they're making a remake of The Color Purple? Now, if you know me, you've been riding with me for a long time. You know that is my all-time favorite movie. If that movie is on, I will stop and watch that movie from the beginning to the end. And I always cry right at the end when Celie sees her kids for the first time from Africa and those fabrics are just blowing in the wind. And you say, Mama, Mama Boomy. I can cry on the dime every single time that comes on. But anyway, some movies are just sacred. You're not supposed to really touch a movie. But I don't think that they're making another movie remake, but they're making a TV show, kind of like a musical show like they did for West Side Story and Grease, where they're going to have a television Broadway version of it, I guess the best way to put it. And so far, they've cast Taraji P. Henson as Shug Avery. First of all, I didn't even know Taraji P. can even sing, so I'm very excited about this. I think Whoopi might be one of the producers. I know Oprah's one of the producers, and Tyler Perry probably got his little 2 cents in it. But I'm going to be watching this with a close magnifying glass. Don't mess up my movie, okay? Please don't mess it up. All right, people, that's all the black tea I have for you this week. I told you the tea was hot and it was black. And thank you for riding with me today. If you're listening to my podcast, make sure you download it and share it on your social media. If you're watching me on my YouTube channel at Sky Bobby TV, make sure you subscribe and like the video. Spread the love. Let me know. Let the people know that I'm out here. Every week, every Friday and Saturdays. I am producing some good content. Anyway, bye, girl, bye.